Hey everybody, this is Perch. What is a hero? We read comics about heroes all the time. I mean, to me, I think the what is a hero is fairly obvious. I do think that people struggle with what a hero is these days, in main part because some writers, and I've heard writers say this directly, they have trouble identifying with a self-sacrificing, which says a lot, hero, and they have trouble identifying with the kind of scenarios that the hero gets themselves into. So a hero defending against an alien invasion is not realistic. A hero who is defending against, voting machine problems and, election deniers is something that is feels more relatable. Some comic writers, so that's how they want to write the hero, even though absolutely nobody wants to read about a hero who is battling election deniers. And I give you a 100% chance that Marvel and DC will have comics out in the next 3 months or so where the term election denier is going to be part of the story. Because what happens is these dumbasses see what is trending on Twitter and then try and come up with a comic story. And there's no comic story anywhere where election denier is going to be a fun topic, unless there is a new Justice League book. And in the new Justice League book, they're going to vote for the new Justice League chairman or chairwoman. And basically, there's this big campaign, and it's kind of like, in my mind, it's like a Justice League International, the Bwahaha era of the Justice League. It's kind of that era, and so you've got the various heroes kind of making their case, and Guy Gardner is running for chairman, and he's like, I could do a good job, and you got to kind of revert Guy Gardner a little bit, past when he kind of redeemed himself a little bit in the in some of the later issues of Green Lantern Corps, past the Red Lantern Corps, where they're doing basically the the Sons of Anarchy bit, only with Red Lantern rings, and actually bring him back to that cocky prick attitude that he was in the 80s. Anyway, so Guy Gardner is running for chairman, and he loses the election in the Justice League, but he refuses to lose it. So he won't admit he lost, and he basically, refuses to concede to whoever won the election. Have the election like won by Nort or I don't know, some really shitty character. And then Guy Gardner becomes the Justice League chairman election denier, and he won't, and so he's out there fighting crime, and he's like, I am the true judge. And then you see like Lois Lane writing a bunch of articles about how Guy Gardner, election denier, is it can't stop crime, or you actually, I'm kidding. Don't do any of this. It sounds fucking terrible. But anyway, who knows? I think it's going to happen. So this mail is asking, what is a hero? It says, hey Perch, I hope you're recovering well. I have a question about comic heroes. What is a superhero today? The classic explanation would just be someone with superpowers fighting for justice or defending those who can't defend themselves. That second one's a pretty good one. However, is there a level of sacrifice or selflessness required? It seems like a lot of heroes only get off their ass when the villains threaten what they care about. Saving the world is rarely selfless if you live in it. Okay, fair enough. That's the whole mail. So I think that, to me, what is a hero? I think a hero is, in comics, it's somebody who does the right thing even when it's impossible, even when it means their own death, even when it is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. Kind of where the hero is not necessarily a tragic figure, but the hero is somebody who has to find a way to win, even when the odds are impossible, even when they're racing into certain death, but they do it anyway. Or maybe the hero is somebody who is, despite whatever is going on in their life, is willing to lend the hand to somebody less fortunate than themselves, like you mentioned. So that, scenes we've had of like Superman, talking somebody who's going to commit suicide off the ledge. Somebody who is Superman who's willing to give some inspiration to someone. I think those are examples of a hero or heroic actions. I think Captain America kind of leaping into battle and using his shield to, block a molten, energy stream from Ultron even though Captain America may die in the process, but he's doing so to shield civilians so they can get away safely. I think that is the example of a hero. Um, I think that heroes are easy to write in the sense that, I think they are. Look, I think the actions of a hero are not that complex. You just need to have somebody who, you know, is selfless, is willing to put others before themselves, is willing to face certain death, is willing to, deal with an unwinnable situation because it's the right thing to do. That's a hero. Is somebody who picks up rather than holds down. I think the challenge that you have is that a lot of heroes are written today for snark. I think the idea that the hero has to be cool. This is going to sound super old fashioned and corny, I'm sure, but there was once a world where the hero didn't care about being cool. The hero just cared about, saving lives, and that was what heroes do. And frankly, the if the hero is cool or not is thoroughly irrelevant to this. Their focus is, to protect. Their focus is to uplift. Their focus is and there'd be jokes in comics about this is a Boy Scout. This character, I mean, Captain America used to is like this character doesn't know how to have any fun. It's one of the distinctions between a Spider-Man and a Captain America is Captain America would play it by the book. He's a Boy Scout and everything else. Spider-Man's cracking jokes, and that's kind of his whole gimmick and what he does. Not his entire gimmick, but part of it. And that was a good dynamic that they could play between characters, between showing different facets of what it means to be a hero. But the idea that Captain America was straight laced and didn't want to had to protect, didn't really care about his own coolness. He cared about the mission. He cared about protecting people and helping people. That to me is a hero. All of these different natures are hero. These heroic scenes of Spider-Man, in a tunnel, he's going to drown, but he's lifting up. Even hell, that Secret Wars bit where the Hulk is kind of saving the other heroes from a mountain. The Hulk is doing something incredibly heroic, and that's a hero, and it's cool to anyway. That today, like I said, I think there's been this feeling like heroism is not cool. Like younger audiences won't relate to heroes. Whereas, and I know for whatever reason, some people on my channel don't like it, but My Hero Academia and what they've done with Deku and what they did with Bakugo and what they've done with the different characters often portray, the idea that being a hero has a lot of different flavors, a lot of different facets, a lot of different, aspects to their personality, but being a hero is important. So there you go. That's my definition. What's yours? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course. And thanks for listening.